hasn't quite clicked for this team to get to, like, I feel like they still have another level to get to. I still think, like, Rain is still a little bit more quiet than I would like. They're very, very fortunate at the moment to have Keo, who's been playing stellar lately, and also Allu has been phenomenal.
Are they doing the Henry G pistol round?
Oh, this could be. I mean, it didn't work out for NIP very well lately.
It doesn't normally work out for Henry either.
Yeah.
But it is the good old-fashioned smoke out towards truck, play out through Squeaky, and it's not gone perfectly. aizy finding Keo so swiftly was a little bit of a downturn, but they do have the site. This is FaZe, of course, and the bomb will be going in any second now. Rain going to be the one to find any sort of placement at the moment. 2 kills for him, already seen him behind him. karrigan watching the back flank, really rather diligent considering MSL is going to try and play to this. karrigan doesn't have any armor, but it doesn't seem to matter either. He's handled it very well. And now Rain, we kind of mentioned at the start, he's found 3 kills this round. Yeah,
that's certainly maybe hearing me call him out, but certainly a good pistol round, even despite aizy just getting that very quick one tap kill. That's huge, but also I mean just a standard playing retake onto the B bomb site. We see that very frequently. It's just FaZe gets too many kills before the retake can really come in. That means that MSL has to pick up his pace on the flank. He can't take it as slow as he would have liked, which makes him very exposed to karrigan. So it just all kind of falls apart there.
And considering the UMP meta that's kind of plaguing the CSGO community, this is a very rifle-centric buy coming out from FaZe. 3 rifles coming in, and 2 of the UMPs. Keo and karrigan going to be sat on those 2, but it's NiKo taking all the fights in mid. He's trying to stay safe from the higher angle, which he's now playing into.
Well, you can also see here in mid, these fights that are being taken is also why there's so many AK-47s, because on top of the UMP meta, at the current point, we also have a Deagle meta kind of coming into play.
Yeah.
A lot of teams now, where we didn't see it just so recently, this many Deagles being purchased, they're guns that can stay away from the UMPs, that can utilize the range very well, so you need to have some AK-47s to take those long-range duels if need be. And we saw one win out the fight in mid, and now just it's going to be FaZe just encroaching onto this B bomb site. But diligent in the Molotov usage, making sure they clear out the back boxes, and Rain just sideswiping config.
Yeah, and Rain, when he's on, he's a scary player, but aizy's doing serious damage. Look at Keo, NiKo, and Rain. They're down to just single digits at this point, so that P250 on Magisk could do some damage, but his angle isn't phenomenal here. Allu took a little bit on the way down, but I don't know if aizy's going to find anything. No, a little bit of a shame considering how much damage was dealt, but 5 stay alive for FaZe, no matter what the HP may be, and they've got a beautiful start into this matchup.
Yeah, this is very good, obviously, and keeping all 5 alive, that's massive. So pretty decent investment for North, but actually, I mean, not really buying armor with some of those Deagles, and I think actually Magisk was the only one who had armor and P250, so if you look at the money at the North side going into the 3rd round, it's not going to be that typical light on utility that we see of CT sides. They're going to have plenty of nades to work with. They're probably going to have some kits. This time they're going to go for a gamble stack over at the A bomb site. Similar setup to what we saw to FaZe last round. NiKo's far enough back that he's going to be able to spot this aggression. And just pre-firing that corner, Magisk walks right into it. Now coming out door, he's going to be able to turn around and take long-range duels, but he's getting encroached from both sides. He's got to be careful. He's about to go down. There it is. And the bombs here, they're fighting this as well, so a little bit dicey, a little bit dangerous. But the superior arsenal helps them win out in the end.
They do lose one of the rifles, but I guess they could maybe drop out an AWP if they fancy it early enough, because look at what North has purchased. You mentioned earlier, this buy coming in now wasn't going to be light, and yeah, that is definitely not light at all. 2 AWPs coming out. I mean,
obviously that was more than likely a planned buy into this round, so that's why they're not picking up all the armor. The double op setup right off the back. We've seen this. We saw this on Combo yesterday as well. We said config opping more on Inferno. Even NiKo taking the op just because he has the better spawn. But this is pretty fast-paced from FaZe. They already have control of A main. They're already pretty close if they want to execute.
Yeah, and kind of a stack towards quad side. 2 players here, which is, I think, so Magisk and aizy both playing here. Neither of the AWPs actually playing dedicated towards A. One in middle, I can imagine, the other at B. So a bit of a heavier lean towards middle and A, leaving B pretty much all in the hands of config. And at the moment, that's perfectly fine. FaZe still tendering towards A. First smoke comes in to hinder the approach. Nice little late smoke, going to buy a bit of time here. Might give FaZe some control of getting to the other side of main uncontested, but still, this is good stuff so far from North.
Yeah, where do they go from here? The ops haven't been pressured quite yet. Now we might see a little bit of a duel. Allu is boosted up. Actually, 2 players going to be boosted up. It gives cajunb an opportunity. MSL right beneath him. Opening kill on Magisk. That's an A main. Here come the utility usage. And yeah, this combination between MSL and cajun could be deadly.
Yeah, we're going to see if cajun takes the first real bit of contact here. He spots it out maybe, or does something to try and keep the attention away from MSL, who's... Ooh, Rain checks back into it. It looked like he checked just out of the sake of doing it, but then just kind of corrected into it. Now North is split between the sides. They have no people playing between. You have no one in middle, no one really watching much towards highway. Magisk holding an off angle that is very fine, to say the least.
That is a dirty off angle if they start making their way up. There's the peak. Nice flick over from Allu. Really good movement of the mouse. aizy still on the bomb site, though. He gets one. Kio, meanwhile, has dropped one of the ops, and he's going to keep pressuring. That's not a good miss, though. They needed that, and aizy stands strong in the A bomb site. 3 kills for him, and they salvage the double op setup.
That first shot from Allu, it makes him look like he can hit anything and anyone, and then you miss the follow-up, which is such a shame. That could have all gone differently, but yeah, a bit of a late in the game turnaround. It was aizy pretty much being the bastion on the site there, keeping that one pretty much all together, and they've got the double up back out to play. And considering how hefty this purchase is going to be, they need to keep players alive and keep that economy nice and strong on North.
Pretty much the same exact setup. This time there's going to be a little bit more aggression to A main. aizy and Magisk pop flashing in. They've gotten control. They see no one here as well. NiKo might be able to hear this. He's over towards the doorway room on the passageway there.
And to be fair, it's not too surprising to see NiKo a little further away from the others as well. He does like to play this one out. You know that NiKo often is over by that door and the rest of just pretty much anywhere else.
This is kind of interesting, though, because it's very possible that karrigan's calling just a heavy play towards this B bomb site because they know the double op setups were out and because they know they more than likely salvage them. If they firebomb this site and they have smokes in the choke points, this double op setup is going to be so weakened.
It's going to be Config. We've got to see what he can do. He's a new addition as an AWPer, but certainly talented. I think you might have seen Kio possibly crossing towards checkers. Now he's unsure of what's safe and what's not, and he's going to have to try and play out of this one. MSL has come around and helped out already. There goes Rain. It's 3 players creeping towards the site, but a lovely shot coming out from Config. Maybe a possible other victim, but allu, the unorthodox shots he hits, and he's going to see the barrel of the gun there, Config, but blinded off the angle. Tries to find another. It's Kio to next fall. This guy's claiming victims left and right. Allu did creep forward, though, and Config completely unawares.
Not a whole lot of pressure on the site. There's Allu with the peek. He misses the shot, though. That allows aizy to re-peek it. 1 on 3. NiKo's in the bomb site. He just wants aizy to peek this. Just wants to see that pixel. Looking for 1 kill that will allow him to get the bomb down. Not going to tap it either. And actually, this is North. They're just going to start the retake now. They've gained ground because of it. Magisk nails the shot. 2nd round for North. The plant's going to help FaZe out if they want to buy into the next round. But I think they might just be a little bit too low.
Yeah, we'll see if the couple of deagles come through. We'll see what money they are able to scrape together on this.
Config had so much time in that B bomb site between shots. Times to dodge the Molotovs, time to grab the angles. There wasn't enough aggression. Part of that is MSL getting 1 kill in mid and being able to pressure on the flank from vents just kind of slows everything down from FaZe. They know if they pressure it too much, MSL is going to have a lot of ground to work with. So it's kind of pick your poison there, and Config is just able to do too much damage. So it is a buy-up from the FaZe side. 4 AK-47s, 1 deagle on Kio. Utility is going to make options for FaZe a little bit limited, and the double op setup so far for North looking very, very good.
Look, we've seen a lot of teams depending on the double op to provide a lot of their victories. Fnatic is one of them at the moment. We've seen that whenever they get into trouble, that double op instantly comes out. But still, that aside right now, FaZe looking for a quicker mid-take here, but there is a player in vents and they are causing trouble already. MSL again being a real nuisance here, plays in cajunb perfectly as well. Attention drawn elsewhere as now he can be dominant through highway. And it's a 5v3, Kio, Rain and allu left kind of, I guess, scrapping their way back into this. They've still got 1 minute and 20 seconds to play with so much time, but losing so many people early on, and Cajun missing a bit of a strange shot there, goes right back out wide on that and just, again, gets done in by Rain.
You also don't need to go for that repeat. That's a bit too much, in my opinion, from cajunb after he misses that initial shot. You have a 2-man advantage. Don't give the opening, because now Rain's got a great line of sight into the bomb site. He's got an AK-47 as well, so it's aizy who's got to be careful. He's only got the M4. This is going to force some rotations. Kio's going to come all the way back around to A. Allu's close to the door, and Rain in middle. He can be a huge distraction as well.
Ooh. Both of them playing down highway, though. They've kind of left A. Thought solid. Maybe they're getting a feeling. Maybe they've got an idea of what's happening. But now the call's going to be made, and Rain finding 2 is massive. That turns this one around and leaves it almost impossible. Oh! Hello, allu.
That's dirty.
You hit that, do you? Okay. And now it's a 2v1. Config's a mile away. He's been playing over at B, but yeah, North getting pretty much run around in that round.
This is the thing, though. That's why that mistake from cajunb, that's why I think that play, that repeat is so bad, is just because it gives up the entirety of mid control. Rain has so much space. Now, great call. He makes some phenomenal shots to win the 2-man duel, but leaves so much on Config here as he throws the Molotovs out, trying to flush players into the open. Smoke's going to come out. Kio there with the peek. 1 more in the sight. Is he going to clear that corner? He does find... Oh, no! He can do this, and he is going to do it! That's huge, and FaZe with a misplay of their own. Config had no business in that.
How do you manage that? Config! What are you doing? That's nutty! Oh, what an absolute play coming out there from him. And there's the allu shot again. Yeah, can you miss it? But it was all about that end.
Yeah, I don't understand. Kio just being too fancy with nades, perhaps. Don't know why he needed to peek after that. I mean, just a weird, awkward situation to be in, and config comes up massive.
That's just not a situation you want to see win.
It's depressing as well because this does seem like it's going to be one of those games where Rain is just going off. Like the effort that he put in that round, you don't want to let that go to waste.
No, you absolutely don't. Double flashing towards main and the aggression to follow. But of course, NiKo with that deagle never seems to let us down. It never seems to let down FaZe either. So karrigan now quickly up highway has found so much room to operate against a full buy here. This is a little bit worrying to see North just struggling this much.
Fast pace, picked up the speed there. FaZe Clan did. The Tech 9 coming up highway was beautiful. MSL forced in front of the Molotov. He's going to find one more. 3-on-3. This is still winnable for North.
Certainly is. They've got utility aplenty as well. They can divide this site however they want to. Rain, allu, and karrigan trying to stand in their way. This time they want to hold on to it. This time they don't want to let this round slip, even though they're against greater odds. And cajunb this time comes out swinging. It's a 1v1. Allu's only got a P250. He does have time on his side, and he's playing Ring a Roses. cajunb's trying to chase him down, and allu can't escape. It's cajunb.
No kit.
No kit, and they didn't pick up the kit on the way around. No, that's gutting. He's got to get out of there. He should be able to at least stay alive with the AWP, but that is a very small bit of silver lining when you lose that round.
Yeah, he didn't have the money for a kit. It comes back to that last round where FaZe has just put so much pressure in terms of the number of kills they're getting. That one round that was a 5-on-3 turning into a 1-on-2 that config wins just depletes the economy. cajun, no money for the kit. So FaZe get away with one there. Fast-paced rush with the pistols is going to win things out, and that was one of the big points I wanted to bring up before that. Is one of the things FaZe is going to have to manage is there's a lot of aggression from North in these rounds, pushing into A main quickly with 2 players. They want that early information. They want that early control to kind of figure out how they want to play the map out from there.
You're playing a scary game doing that against FaZe as well. There's so much individual ability that you're just trying to overdo or outdo. And we've seen it go right and go wrong, so it's a fine line to tread for North, and they're already going to be operating at a one-man deficit here, cajunb being down. Maybe just not quite feeling the game yet, still maybe a little bit cold into the server, but at the point we're at now, MSL trying to make up for the odds. Going to go for a little bit of an aggressive play through mid, but karrigan's playing in useless from holding this angle. That is such a read from him.
It's frustrating as well, just the knowledge, the patience that MSL trying to push into that, and karrigan's watching that exact crack in the smoke. Magisk has the AWP, that's in mid. He's got to make a gamble. He's got to make a decision on where to go because he has no info. This is going to be a 4-1 setup from FaZe late on in this round. NiKo alone in A main. The other 4 players outside of the B bomb site. So it'll be interesting to see if NiKo's going to be the one that starts the action or just kind of finishes it off.
And Magisk has the AWP here between these two. All right, this is a different look again, but yeah, he's not going to get much done. Maybe they wouldn't expect config here. No, they don't, but he gives away the game a little early, and Rain controls the situation before it spirals out of control.
Team ace. That's what you want to see as well. Man advantage, and you just group up. Yeah, this is the round you could see. He gets a couple nice kills.
And there's a kit just off to the right by electric box. Oh.
Yeah, but in that moment, as
you're not thinking
of that at all, are you?
No. It's a bit of a shame. You see it so close by. But it is what it is, and allu just about buying enough time. But yeah, this has put North all the way back to the Stone Age here. No upgrades, no purchases at all.
Which is deadly considering how good that double op setup was and how much they wanted it. I mean, the save in the second round to get that double op. Now they pick up the speed, and actually Kio, excuse me, has called it out towards B that they've pushed mid. That's why you see allu watching the flank. Rain there as well with him. Ooh, allu eats a bullet to the face, and they're locked in. North has made the rotations. They're already at the A bomb site. This is going to be a little bit tough.
Yeah, if you're FaZe, you don't expect them here this quickly. That was so quick. But still, FaZe do have everything in their favor. And Rain, oh, he's putting on a bit of a class here, but at the end of the day, it should have always been a 1 round for FaZe there. They literally had everything, and North had literally 0. So at least the purchase will come out this time. Not going to afford the double ops though.
Not even a single AWP on the side of North. Oof. And again, no kits. We've seen both of those things critical in this matchup so far. FaZe doubling up on North's score, 6-3. And you imagine this would be a little bit slow paced from FaZe. Let some of this utility worn out. You have to know that they're going to be a little bit low on economy. Oh, here's the push though from MSL. FaZe isn't ready for it, but good trades. 2 for 2 across the board. They're still caging in the site though. This is a little bit of a bait.
Yeah, you put out 2 and you leave 1 there, so they kind of quicken their pace towards side, not expecting the addition, but cajunb just gets outdone. Rain just checking on it as well, just working his way through towards default, and there he is. Standing out right in the open. Cajun is not having a big game here yet.
No, he hasn't really got into it. A couple nice op kills, and that's about it. And even aizy is going to be forced back. Now this has got to be a save. No kits, no utility. That kill might influence him to go for it. But I don't think so. NiKo, this is a huge kill. If FaZe can get that, it might switch it on, but no. Magisk has basically just got to fall away.
He does get an AWP. I don't think anyone's chasing in that direction, so yeah, he's got away with an AWP. Not too bad, not too shabby. But you're still wanting rounds on the board, and you felt that trade earlier on could have set that up really well. I just don't know why. It feels unfortunate for cajunb. A lot of the timing seems just not on his side, but
I don't know.
Caught unawares.
I don't know if there was a communication going on, but I thought he would have heard the footsteps of Rain as he was running around that side. It looked like that was something that he would be able to definitely be able to check. You know, that's a pretty common position.
Yeah, a little bit strange. Well, Magisk is an AWPer.
He's got to be this round.
Other people have armor.
Yeah,
drop.
He could drop it over.
There's two other AWPers there.
There seems to be an AWPing identity crisis on this team at the moment.
He identifies as an AWPer right now, and you can't question that.
AWP fluid.
NiKo AWPing on the other side. Why not? You know what? Why can't everyone can be an AWPer? And so far, Magisk is actually the one to get the kill. I don't know.
Listen, not everyone can be an AWPer. I am prime example of that. Well, either way, this is actually not a bad situation, all things to be considered for North. They've got an opening kill. cajun's going to keep pushing that flashbang from karrigan, though. That's perfect. Nice shots from aizy, ranged with the P250. Unfortunate he can't salvage anything, and Magisk, I mean, they're going to want to keep someone anchored into that B bomb site. So it is all going to be on aizy, and he's brought down too low to really stop any kind of progression into the A site. So another round for FaZe, and it's a little scary. It feels like they're really starting to pile it on in this game.
Yeah, it felt quite close at the start. There's a couple of these rounds that were actually quite close, but it started to spiral, scoreline-wise as well. It's starting to look a little bit better for FaZe. These rounds, they've been quite almost a brawl. They haven't been necessarily the most beautifully strategic at times. They have been a little bit forceful in how they want to go about it, but if it works, it works. It's putting rounds on the board for FaZe here.
It's really not too complicated from FaZe either. They're just focusing on the fact that they have the amount of individual skill, the trades that they have. They're staying pretty grouped up. I mean, both teams in the rounds they've won have done a pretty good job of finding some opening kills. So, I mean, they're putting themselves in 5-on-4s, and at that point, it's just use the number advantage that you have. Magisk has been found out, but he gets the kill onto Rain, and this kind of signals everyone to chase it down. It's awkward from NiKo. Flashbang out. Magisk has just got to hide. This is a lot of pressure being put on him. How much is NiKo going to chase all the way? And Magisk gets that kill on a NiKo right at the end. Keeps the op.
Thank you, replay man.
Tactical pause coming out from North.
Could have done the replay then, couldn't you? I kid, I'm joking. I love you, production crew. Oh god, I've started to mess with production crews. That's a very poor idea, isn't it?
It is. You're gonna get hot mic later this event.
The hot mics are coming, boys.
Clean.
Yep. Oh no, it's all over. But yeah, at the moment, North needs an idea of what to do here. You know, it's all good and well to depend on a double AWP when you have the money to.
They're gonna have it again this round. You would imagine. Magisk has 6,300 and he saved the AWP, so he'll be able to drop one over to whoever. So I mean, you imagine with the amount of priority they put on it, and the only success they've had is with double AWP, that they're gonna go back to it here.
I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about people being so dependent these days on the double AWP. It feels to be such a common trend these days now, at least coming through, that there's very few teams who can't run it. And I don't mind it being there at all, but it does give you that very fragile balance between we have what we want or we have nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly does. And this is a team as well that has the skill to not need to do a double AWP. But at the moment, it seems to be pretty preferred. We saw it a lot on Kabul. Here's a pop flash for cajun to take a peek. Pop flash for karrigan as well, and cajun's going to find that opening kill onto Rain.
I miss you, Russian Pat, Heather. cajun adjusting towards the site now. Now, you know, it feels like a long time since we've seen North have the early advantage. It always feels that they've either kind of been traded into, or you know, it's never been quite favourable, and then the lull. There's never been that, like, okay, we've actually got that one-man advantage, let's just chill it out now. allu's going to look to try and even a little bit of the odds here.
They've really, North has really turtled up into these bomb sites. 3 players over towards A, 2 players in B. MSL's starting to get a bit of aggression. He's pushed out so they can at least get some information. Config as well can have a deep angle, but there's no mid control. So if there is something coming out mid, if FaZe decides to split this B bomb, so that's when it could be dicey. You could see they're trying to find out what's coming. The pop flashers through the smoke. They want some kind of information. And there's some. karrigan finds MSL.
Yeah, MSL was almost meant to be the early warning system to allow the play to come in from config, but Now it's going to force aizy to have to come over here now and be a little bit worried about B, which was never meant to be maybe the intention from FaZe, because that's not where the bomb was particularly. But then again, they weren't really anywhere on the map either. They were kind of stuck. But they've worked out that, well, no one's in mid, and allu's worked his way up towards highway. So he's been getting great deals of information here. Kio not too far behind. Magisk having to deal with that from that forklift side, and a bit of a pinch could come through. But cajunb should have his back in the tag. It's just enough to set up the frag for Magisk, but that crossfire still needs to hold here. And look at the time.
Yeah, there's really no time left. Actually, North can just run away now. Cajun's still alive in the bomb site. He's won this out. He is going to fall, but without any plant, it's an easy win for North. They get their 4th. But again, I mean, this just goes right back to it. This is the story we're going to cling to this game, is the double op setup. They can't get a second op out this round.
No, they cannot. So Config's keeping it over cajunb.
Yeah, we saw that on Inferno as well. That's where this whole kind of question.
Very curious, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where everything began.
I'm not questioning it really. Config's been wonderful at it. It's just it's a new change. It's a new look for North, and I'm not doubting it. It must be a little bit of a nice switch up for them as well. So into this one, 4-8 still. FaZe have a great deal of utility behind them this round as well. They've got so much to play with, but Config looking for the early play, and he actually does get the tag towards karrigan, backs away nicely, doesn't outstay his welcome, and gives up the ground, but nice early damage.
Yeah, karrigan's going to have to play a little bit more passive. We saw him being pretty aggressive, taking fights, taking duels. He got that kill onto MSL to equalize things at a 4-on-4, but he can't be that aggressive with only 20 HP. It's turning into crisscross smokes in mid. The wall of smokes to block off cajunb's AWP. Kio's got MSL to deal with in vents, but that Molotov is going to slow things down. So the timing of this might be a little bit screwed up.
I guess the problem is that MSL can still see that. Is he boosted into vents? I think he is. So even with those double smokes, yeah, he can see that no one's actually pushed this, so it's okay. Plays a little passive now for the back of it. It means that aizy can be not so worried about mid, kind of focus back in towards the site a little bit more. Magisk is well focused towards it. He's still worried about middle though, but with NiKo taking down Magisk, he has to focus towards the site itself. 2 players now on this. Rain gonna be planting, but NiKo's playing babysitter, but no! aizy, great timing on the play there. Gonna find NiKo and put Rain down to just 4 HP.
Yeah, and Rain's got to go for this fight. He's waiting for Kio to be able to trade it off, and there it is. Nice from Kio, but he gets the TK. That's unfortunate. Still a 3-on-2. They've got to stop cajunb, though. No one's really peeking this as well. It's a desperate situation. Cajun and MSL on 3.
Oh, you look one way and allu just pins you to the ground. It's going to be MSL trying to play back into this. And that's the first step in the right direction, but digging these 2 players out is going to be tough. He's got a good idea of where they might be, but that may not be enough. And it isn't. Kio delivers the final bullet to the brain, and a little bit of recovery almost, but not quite.
And that's it. That's once again the economy broken. Just a complete reset. They win one and they lose next. But at this point, at this stage in the game, at this stage in the half, North cannot afford to save. They have to get more rounds on the board. They're not satisfied with just 4. That's why you're seeing the scout with no armor on aizy. That's why you're seeing the UMP and 3 pistols out. FaZe with a great chance to have a dominating first half. And Rain, excuse me, is going to spot 2 dropping into checkers. 1 comes out. He should still know MSL's in there. Nades ringing in. Here's another Molotov. Yeah, they know exactly where he is, and MSL's not getting out of this alive. That's so much utility used. Oh, the smoke, though. Smoke keeps him alive for just 1 more moment.
It's actually really hard to play out of this, though. Look at the position you've got. cajunb up in the vents. You've got 1 by the back box there. I think that's MSL. 1 on the side. They're kind of surrounded. allu's trying to fight their way back out of this. Give them some options, but so many smokes up, so many positions they can't account for, but they are just finding the kills. Kio claiming MSL is big.
Yeah, pretty dicey. As soon as allu gets that kill on the flank, though, it opens up an option for him. From there, it's a little bit easier. Now they've alleviated the pressure. Now we're going to see this defensive stack. North had them surrounded, but it's got to spread out now. Config and Magisk staying in the B bomb site. The scout over towards A. And FaZe has just slowed everything down.
Guess they have limited information, so working your way back towards A, every corner might contain a threat, so they're checking everything. They have to be meticulous about this. They can still fall back to B if they fancy it. It's not out of the question, but they've got to consider it soon. You've got 40 seconds left, and you've got a lot of corners to check and a lot of threats on the board, even though the North are only on pistols and a scout.
They're doing a very good job of keeping the numbers while also keeping an eye on any aggression the North would be doing here. And even sending, I mean, karrigan's going pretty much alone first. He's going to spot a scout here. He's tagged up down to 19. And that's actually going to prompt FaZe back into the stack.
Yeah, they're going right back into B. There's still 2 players here as well. 1 on the side, 1 up above now. NiKo's burst in, but what a shot. Just adjusts in time. Now Magisk having to only use a CC, and that might be enough. 2 big kills. It's a 2v2, but his teammate falls. And there's allu with only 8 seconds left, but enough time.
Yeah, not a bad idea for Magisk as well to force the fight there with the time running down. Only 8 seconds when he falls at the end. So he gets that kill, and the round's essentially over. 10-4, and it's going to be another pretty weak buy at a North. It's got to be UMP on MSL, pistols for the rest of them. FaZe have done a great job of just manipulating numbers advantages in most of these rounds. Hasn't been too fancy. They have left the bomb in T-spawn at the moment, though.
It's all planned. All right.
Designed.
Exactly.
The old Renegades tactic.
Still on cajunb up on the boost. I wonder if karrigan's going to take a little bit of a pass. Look, he does. He just don't get away with anything right now. FaZe are keeping tabs on pretty much the whole board. allu just kind of surprised that someone walked past, but he was there.